That now brings us to the fourth album, 2018's Little Dark Age. Again, as you can see, I got my Little Dark Age shirt here. Check it out. Got the LDA. Got the MGMT. As you can see, I'm repping Little Dark Age. I do love this album. Another one of my favorite albums. Not to say favorite albums of all time, but it's certainly in my, again, as I mentioned, I'm making a list, a favorite albums of all time list. Little Dark Age is certainly in my top 100 favorite albums of all time. The fourth studio album released February 2018, coming up just past 6 years now. The 6-year mark was just like a week or so ago on, what was it, February 9th? And I'm recording this the 15th, so yeah, just over a week ago now, the 6-year anniversary there. Little Dark Age, the fourth studio album by MGMT. First song, She Works Out Too Much. This song is just so perplexing, I would say. It's a great opener, but the rest of the album doesn't really sound too much like it. And also, if you notice, nothing else here really sounds anything like She Works Out Too Much, right? It's such a unique track in the MGMT discography. So yeah, nothing quite sounds like She Works Out Too Much, throughout indie rock, throughout alternative, throughout MGMT's discography. It's not just MGMT's discography. In all of, really, indie music or alternative music, there isn't really a She Works Out Too Much out there, the horns are going wild, the drums are all over the place. You can't tell if it's actually drummed or if it's drum machine. It's all over the place. It's kind of catchy too. It takes a little bit to get into, but once it's full going, it's a phenomenal song. It deserves to be in the A tier. All right, now we're on to a big one. Little Dark Age, the title track of the fourth studio album from MGMT. And where else could this song go other than the SS tier? It's an ultimate MGMT song. It really is. It's instantly catchy. There's a goth feel to it, as many people have pointed out. It's another song that there really isn't anything in MGMT's discography that sounds like it. It's another song that there really isn't anything else that sounds like it. I know some people say it's inspired by The Cure, or I couldn't even tell you. It's such a unique song. It's incredible. It's catchy. There's not a second wasted. Instrumentally, it goes so hard. Those synths, the synth arpeggios. It's just unbelievable. Little Dark Age. It's a top 5 MGMT song. Has to go in the SS category. Alright, moving on from there. Track 3, When You Die. Another big song from Little Dark Age. And this one goes right there in the S tier. It's a top tier song on Little Dark Age. It really is, I love the little build and sort of towards the beginning of it, I guess. And the lyrics, go fuck yourself, and there's just, and it's catchy too, when you sing it, and I like that Ben's voice is kind of mixed in with the chorus, when you die, it's a very good song. When You Die has to go in the S tier. Next up, Me and Michael. This is one I've always loved, and it has to go once again in the S tier. Honestly, it could shoot more towards the SS because it's instantly catchy. It's instantly enjoyable for me. I love the hook. Me and Michael. I'm not doing it justice, obviously, but I love Me and Michael. I enjoy it. I play this one. Not to say it's one of my most. It actually might be one of my most played from the album. Honestly, I play it more than. I probably play it more than. I don't know if I play it more than When You Die, but. Again, Me and Michael goes in the S tier. I love that song. So we're shaping up pretty good so far here. Of course, it's Little Dark Age. It's a great album. Track 5 here, Time Spent Looking at My Phone, TS Lamp. This one goes right there in the B category. I think it's a good song. There are times where I think it could edge more towards A because it reminds me, or it is kind of like She Works Out Too Much in a way, But is it on that A level? I don't think so. I think it's right there, and the B is a good spot for it. Let's go on to track number 6, James. That's another one right there in the B. This song I actually really did enjoy. When it initially came out. Not to say I still don't, but I think as time grew, or as time moved on and the album grew on me. Songs like She Works Out Too Much, T.S. Lamp grew on me more, and songs like James kind of faded off a little bit. But still enjoyable for me. It's not a skip at all by any means. So right there in the B's, a good spot for it. Track number 7, it's mostly instrumental here. Days That Got Away, and it's got to go in the D. When I first heard the album, I was like, boy, this might be the worst MGMT song, even past Lady Dada's Nightmare. But the more you play a little Dark Age, it's kind of like Lady Dada's Nightmare. It's not entirely a skip. I mean, it is for the most part. But if you're playing the album straight through, you gotta play Lady Dada's Nightmare just like you gotta play Days That Got Away. Both of them are right there in the D. Doesn't mean they're total failures. They're not in the F. But do I ever really go back to them like that? Not really. So right there in the D's, D section there is fine for Days That Got Away. Track number 8, One Thing Left to Try, and guess what? This might surprise you. This one is going right there in the S. I've always loved One Thing Left to Try. One of my favorite songs on the album. I mean, this one could inch closer, like Me and Michael, this one could inch closer to the SS. Like, this was an instant one where I heard it. I'm like, MGMT still has it. These guys are still making incredible music. One Thing Left to Try. It's so catchy. I love the "You Wanna Feel Alive, You Wanna Keep Us Alive." I love that little refrain there. And the song kind of just builds, and like the instrumental with the synths, like whoop, 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 whoop. It's a incredible song. I love One Thing Left to Try. Staple song from Little Dark Age for me since day one, since the day of the release, really. All right, 2 songs left. When You're Small. This one's one that really grew on me, and I like hearing Ben's voice singing it. It's enjoyable for me. When I first heard it, I was like, oh man, I don't know, but it does have like that psychedelic rock quality in a way where it's it's enjoyable for sure, especially in terms of the flow of the album. When You're Small, I got to put it right there in the B. It was one of those ones where I was edging it to the C at one point, especially if you would have asked me when the album came out. When You're Small, do you like it? I'm like, but it grows on you over time, and I like that Ben has like the. You don't really get to hear him sing like that. And he kind of takes center stage in the moment there. So you got to show him his respect because he does a good job with it. He pulls it off. When You're Small, right there in the B. That leads us to the final song here of Little Dark Age and leads us right up to the 5th studio album release, Loss of Life, coming out next week. Hand It Over, the final song with Columbia Records, MGMT. It's a tremendous one. This one goes right there in the A category, right along with She Works Out Too Much. I love Hand It Over. It could easily just go right in the S, but because I think the message says so much, and it's clearly talking about the relationship with the label, with the major label. And not to say like MGMT has said they didn't really have hard feelings with Columbia towards the end, but it was just kind of time to move on. And you can tell in the lyrics, like, it's time to hand it over. I like, talking about maybe hand over the final album, like it's time to hand it over. It's a great closer to the album. Phenomenal song. Hand It Over right there in the A tier. All right, we've reached the final 2 songs here. We have Metanoia and All We Ever Wanted Was Everything. These are the final 2 songs that are going to take us up to the release of Loss of Life. Obviously, Hand It Over, was the final song of Little Dark Age, and then we had the 3 singles preceding the release of Loss of Life: Mother Nature, Bubblegum Dog, and Nothing to Declare. But for this tier list, we're going to do the final 2 songs here, Metanoia, which was sort of a bridge song between or after the release of Oracular Spectacular and the release of Congratulations. And then we'll do the cover there, All We Ever Wanted Was Everything, off of Late Night Tales. Starting with Metanoia here, and this is a song I've always loved, I've always enjoyed. It's kind of a prelude to what the band is able to do on Siberian Breaks. Metanoia goes right there in the A tier. That might surprise some of you out there, but this is a song I've always enjoyed, and yeah, there's no reason to not include it in the A tier here. Let me see if I can fix my window here for you, just to make this a little easier, so you guys can see this here. There we go. I've adjusted it, so now you guys can see this a little more clearly here. Metanoia right there, solidly in the A tier. I've always enjoyed this song. Again, there are many different sections to it. And could it go more towards the B? No doubt. But there's that one section to it. I mean, there's many different parts to it, but just the part where, he's like, this one got the path I'm on. Mystic memory don't get in me with scorn. I'm a child, I'm a love of being born. I love that part. I think that's what they say. I don't really know. But because of that part alone, I've loved that part since I was a kid, basically, And I think I discovered Metanoia, after Congratulations was released. Maybe that might be wrong. I might be misremembering that, but I don't remember right after MGMT release Oracular Spectacular, Metanoia dropping. I really don't. I remember listening to it kind of, maybe it was around 2000. I can't remember. My brain is shot. But either way, Metanoia in the A tier. That leads us to the final song that we're going to do today. And thank you guys again. Thank you out there for watching this video, wherever you are. I really do appreciate you. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure. It's been my pleasure. I hope you guys have enjoyed it out there. We're going to do the last song here. All We Ever Wanted Was Everything. Solidly right there in the B tier. I've always enjoyed this song. It actually made me check out that Late Night Tales. All we ever wanted was everything. I've always liked it. It's a good cover. And that's kind of where I'll leave it. I mean, is it something I go back to all the time? I don't. I haven't really gone back to it in a minute, but it's something I enjoyed at the time. It's something I still enjoy to this day, and yeah. I think that's kind of where we'll leave it. So as you guys can see here, my main 5 in the SS, the top tier, my ultimate MGMT top 5, Time to Pretend. Like I said, my favorite song of all time, Electric Feel, right there, my top 25, top 50, or whatever it was. Siberian Breaks, Congratulations, and Little Dark Age. Those are my top 5 MGMT songs. And then you guys can kind of see how the tier list shakes out from there. So yeah, that'll kind of do it for this tier list video. Thank you wherever you are for watching this. I really do appreciate you. And I will be doing some more MGMT content like this leading up to the release of Loss of Life, the 5th studio album, releasing next week. I absolutely cannot wait. It's been 6 long years since Little Dark Age. And all 3 singles, like I said, have been incredible. We'll tier list those out when the album releases. But until then, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this that is soon to be released, coming up. I absolutely cannot wait for Loss of Life. We'll see y'all soon. My name is Matt Woodward. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.